This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Well, I'll tell you, today we're joined by Lonnie Jordan, who's a singer, keyboardist, songwriter, but the last original founding member of the band War. The collective was formed in 1969, fused funk, soul, rock, Latin, jazz. Lowrider, Why Can't We Be Friends, the Cisco Kid, you know them all. Their legacy is stamped in record books as well as the Hollywood Walk of Fame, just most recently. We are here talking with Lonnie because you are coming into Annapolis on the 25th and 26th to celebrate 50 years of Why Can't We Be Friends. How are you?
I'm very good, man. Very, very, very good every day.
50 years, that's unbelievable.
3 fingers and a smile.
Well, I'll tell you, what are you bringing to Ram's Head on stage for this run? I mean, the typical band configuration, horns, percussion, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, unless somebody wants to sit in with us like horn players, and my doors is always open. But in the meantime, it's still lucky number 7 members, I'm definitely going to bring some fire on the stage. So I just warn everyone to bring plenty of water because we're going to have a hell of a fiery night.
Oh, I imagine. I cannot wait to see. I mean, this is one band. This is one show that I have. I just can't wait to see you guys on Thursday and Friday. Now, how does this anniversary show? I mean, you're doing 50 years on Why Can't We Be Friends? How does this differ from any of your other shows that you may do?
Well, I'm not doing anything, new. I don't want to put the people to sleep or piss them off, to the fact that they say, hey, I don't know that song. Play me the songs that you've done that I can reminisce on, flashback, whatever you want to call it. And so, the people are the fans are the ones who really give me the tools to perform, because I'm a reflection of the people and vice versa. And so what we do in the moment on stage in our performances is we perform with the people. And that's bottom line. Because we're a universal street band. We bring people together under one roof, and we just have a heck of a good time. And things can change. Everything is subject to change with us because we don't have a format or tracks or anything. We just play by ear, a jam band, if you want to call it. We've always been a jam band back in the early days, and we still are.
That's the best kind of band there is, man.
There you go.
But you talked about you played. You said out on the street, a jam band. You played local small things when you were first starting. You played stadiums and everything else. Now Ram's Head is a really small room, relatively speaking. It's about 300 people. It's not a concert. Why are you coming to Ram's Head for such a small thing as opposed to a concert hall or a stadium or a festival?
Well, we've been doing that all year pretty much, and now we want to come back to reality, closer to the people, communicate, and just be more connected to the people up close, because that's a totally different feeling than the big stages. The big stages almost become a blur because they're so big and there's so many people. I can still see the smiles. They give me my energy, but the smaller places are more intimate. And that's what I love. It's like a cup of coffee in the morning and we just conversation. That's what it is.
We do love the Ram's Head, that's for sure. But what's interesting, and I'm curious to whether you guys have seen this as you've been out, but I've talked to a number of bands that have been around for years, just like you guys, and they are surprised that as they're getting older, their audiences are somewhat getting younger, but they're finding a lot of younger people in the audiences where they're somewhat surprised that you come in and you figure, okay, well, we're going to have the 50-plus crowd or whatever it may be, because War was big when I was younger, huge. But it's not, it's not for my son who was born in the 90s, but he knows you, he likes you. Are you finding younger people come into their shows?
A lot. And, I call them the Googlers because they have more access to our story even more than I can remember. And, they do, and they know the songs. The older generation that are still present, present in our at our shows, they sometimes they have to Google the lyrics. They love singing the lyrics. They only know the chorus, but as far as like details with the verses, they have to Google it. But the Googlers, who are the young people, they already know it. They remember. Their memories a little bit more keener.
I absolutely love it that you're seeing a whole new generation discovering the amazing music that was the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Well, I did the same thing when I was their age, except we didn't have, of course, the technology to access, enough speed in order to know about the bands or the artists back in the day. It took until I got to my age now, 77 years old, in order to find out even about Ray Charles, more stories than, I saw the movie, but how accurate is that?
Right.
And James Brown, Bill Evans, Billie Holiday. I mean, the list goes on with who I grew up on, and I always wanted to know the stories, and the only way I could see or learn about the stories was on the back of the album when I would see, read in details about a little bit of their stories,
Today, the Googlers, they don't even know what an album is.
I know. Well, we had to depend on the albums.
Why can't we be friends? Okay, I mean, it's been a unity anthem for 50 years. Bringing people together. I mean, it's got a great message. I think we need that message a little bit more now than we ever have. And certainly in my life. Do you kind of agree with that?
Totally, and that's why we wrote it way back then, because we needed it then. So, I will always perform that song. I've performed it since the beginning of its birth, and just keep in mind, we, before Why Can't We Be Friends, we were an engine, and so we're talking 55 years plus. But when Why Can't We Be Friends came out, when we initiated that song was because of issues that we really got fed up with back in the day, because we're talking about across the water, where we would perform, where we would see people of all genres coming from other countries who were pretty much wanting to possess war. No, this is my band. No, that's my band. And all along, what they didn't realize is that we are very versatile, as far as our music. We're a universal band. We pretty much play for all the different genres of an audience, and we bring people together because of that, from different walks of life, including animals, by the way.
I love that about music, and that, we live in such a divided society right now. I mean, we're all, Republicans or Democrats or black or white or gay or straight or male. It's when you come into a war show, and war meaning the band, you're there for an experience, and you're all sharing that experience. And there is, all the other dividing things go away. Exactly. And you realize that you are so much alike, sharing that experience with Lonnie Jordan up there on the keys out front.
Yeah, and I always remind my audience also is that I always tell them that this war, to make it short, this war on stage is a band raging war for peace, and our choice of weapons is our instrument. It does not shoot bullets. It shoots, I would say, it shoots rhythms and harmony. Rhythms, melodies, and harmony, the three fundamentals. And that's all you need right there with us.
Absolutely, too. I'll tell you, if you could look at any one of the eras that you've had for the last, 50 years, and send it back to yourself back in the 60s, which era of war would you say would be the one that your younger self might look at?
Well, when we were called Eric Burden in war, Eric was our lead singer at the time, and that was 55 plus years ago. Um, I was amazed with myself. I never liked to look at myself. I never even used to like to listen to myself sing or speak because I had so much of it driven into my ears and eyes, and it just drove me crazy about myself. But as I watch myself like a silent movie. I turn off the sound and I just watch and see how I was acting under a blur. But I watched myself, and yeah, with Eric Burden, I said, wow. I was definitely a conductor back then, wanting to stay behind the scenes, but then the camera people always put me on anyway, and I would sat down on my keyboards and I would look at the band and get ready to direct, along with Howard Scott, the guitar player. But to help him remember, I would always yell out, ah, on the mic for the next scene or the next break.
Well, you really are a conductor there. I'll tell you. Do you have an artist bucket list? I mean, you've performed with, so many different people over your career. I mean, is there any artist, dead or alive, that you would love to play with, or maybe would love to have played with that you hadn't had a chance?
Well, they were all good. They were all artists are pretty much over my head. And I guess I say that only because we were so different back in the day, and our music was just a totally different scene back then. So me wanting to play, I'd love to play with anybody and everybody, which, by the way, I did play with a lot of bands back in the day that we shared the stage with, like Delaney and Bonnie. I played with them, that sat in and jammed. I also jammed with Little Feat. I mean, the list goes on with some of the bands that I had the pleasure. Also, let's see, what's his name? T-Rex, Mark Boland.
Oh, wow.
And of course, Jimi Hendrix jammed with us at Ronnie Scott's, one of the venues that we played for 5 nights. And he came down on a Tuesday and brought his guitar on Wednesday and jammed with us. And one long song, Mother Earth by Memphis Slim. Unfortunately, he passed away early Wednesday morning. And but that was my first time, being able to share the stage with him, but without any gimmicks, just a regular amp. And that was a memorable evening, for me. And I'm sure it was for him too. And a lot of other artists, unfortunately not alive, like I said, Mark Boland and Bonnie Bramlett's still alive, but not her husband. And, thank God I'm still here to talk about the past, and it's called From the Horse's Mouth to your ears.
I agree. I mean, and war is timeless. I mean, your music really is. I mean, it was just as good as it was yesterday, as it is today, as it will be tomorrow.
Well, nothing. The feeling and the emotions of our music is still it's still new to me. Every time I play our music, it's still new, not to mention it's still different from the music that was yesterday and today, because it's hard to duplicate our music. It was hard for us to reduplicate our music after we recorded it because it was a jam.
Yeah.
Thank God for Jerry Goldstein, who pushed the button and he kept the recording button going, and then he did all the edits, so thank God for that. But,
I mean, you talk about everything being the same. I mean, is there any song that in your catalog? I mean, I know you said that you will always play Why Can't We Be Friends, and that's going to be, from the beginning to the very end. But is there a song in your catalog that for some reason you personally just never get tired of playing, one that maybe just screams to you, this is why we're here?
Yeah, well, to sum it up, not only are we a universal street band, but we are a movement. And songs like The World is a Ghetto, Deliver the Word, Don't Let No One Get You Down, I mean, everything that people can connect and relate to, even lowrider, even slipping in the darkness, talking about slipping out of the light and going to the dark side, me and baby brother, back during the Vietnam War, my baby brother who didn't survive for basically no reason at all. And I'm not going to go there politically, that was back then. And it's just the different songs that we've made, like, again, to sum it up, we're a movement,
True.
A movement that shall not be moved.
It is going to be moving, and everybody will be moving on September 25th and 26th at Rams Head on Stage in Annapolis. Tickets are still available. There's a couple, not too many. I mean, it's a small room. Like I said, it's about 300. So, I mean, there's probably about 20 tickets left. So if you want to see War, which everybody should, you want to go get them right now, ramsheadonstage.com. Lonnie is going to be here bringing his band War for the 50th anniversary tour of Why Can't We Be Friends? Again, that's on Thursday and Friday, the 25th and 26th at Rams Head on Stage. If you want to follow everything that is War, you can go to, appropriately enough, war.com, and gives you all the information on the band and the history. But I would suggest seeing history live on the 25th and the 26th when Lonnie comes up here to Annapolis.
We always sell out at Annapolis both nights. And what it is that a lot of people wait too late to try to get a ticket. And it always ends up being a walk-up, sold out walk-up. And then those that missed out have to come the next night. The same thing, get sold out, walk-ups now. Because we're street fans. It's almost like going to the streets, seeing me on the street and say, here's your ticket. I'll give you your ticket here. Just don't tell anybody.
Just come on in.
That, of course. Yeah, Dark Doors is open. Just come on in.
Lonnie, I can't wait to see you guys. I want to thank you so much for your time today. I, can't wait to see you, and we will wish you a safe trip you're out on the West Coast, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Awesome. And again, War is not going to be around the area too much. So this is going to be your one chance to see him for quite some time here in Annapolis. Again, ramsheadonstage.com or war.com. But Lonnie, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
wanna like to be the president. So I can show you how your money's spent. Why can't we be friends? 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 Sometimes I don't speak right. All right. But yet I know what I'm talking about. Why can't we be friends? 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 I know you're waiting for the CIA. They wouldn't have you in the mafia. Why can't we be friends? 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 Why can't we be
This has been a bonus podcast from Ion Annapolis. Please visit us at ionannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.